Yes, Derek.
Is he
No way.
in it?
No, Under Armour kids section have got a sale on, so
he's been promoted.
He's a way to get
I thought he was
easy.
doing his stripper interview today. I seen him walking by with a 5-man suit. Did you?
We're going to get the dildo to take his place because he looks like it, but that's going as well. I don't know if you took that last week.
He's not well, is he? He's not well. He's getting COVID, didn't he?
You took your dildo, didn't you?
I took it, aye.
That's why he's so happy.
Been buzzing, isn't he?
Derek actually took it because it's not good to me. I've got one the same.
Nah, you got a bigger one, ain't you? I hope this interview goes well, Si. I really do, because he's got that fireman suit on all morning, isn't he?
But Carol, you'll need to go. If he's not well, you'll need to go.
He's not well. Well, I told you, Carol will be baking cakes and all, and he'll not get a hard on for 6 weeks. It's brilliant, that COVID.
How do you like to bake a cake?
Poor fun. Aye.
Poor Derek.
Come on, Derek, get well soon, son.
Good. He'll come back fighting for this, won't he?
Aye.
He's
Derek Ferguson after the Hydro, mate. What a guy. Every day he texts me.
Aye.
So proud of you
so
boys.
Proud of you boys,
Uncle Derek.
I know.
Just what a party.
I said to him, the guy says, one thing I don't want you to do not kick the ball into the audience. Derek, volley.
Man, I think it's genius, so.
That is genius.
So see, when I can't believe I've been the one to tell him not to do it. That's embarrassing.
I know. And
you're quite like that, by the way.
I know,
see, although you didn't give a fuck, see when somebody's told not to do something and then they do it on stage, you get fuming.
I don't know if it's because I've not done it.
Because you're a professional.
Do you know what I mean?
But
when I told Derek, so Derek was like, right, I'm sorry, come here to me, right? I swear to God on stage, nobody like came here to me a minute later and went like that. Don't fucking speak to me like that again. That's right, man. I shot myself. That's swear to God, mate, aye.
What are you getting?
Brilliant.
Bought a coffee, but I had it because I didn't buy you any, but then you walk in with
bastard, man. Why did you choose that particular shop?
Just because we walking by saying,
Aye.
You've had a good few memories in that shop, haven't you?
nah, a few decent ones, aye.
What is it?
He's met a few birds in there.
Few
Tinder.
dates in the box.
Few dates. That's where he goes.
No, listen, Derek, I don't even know, is it the dildo, is it the strippers?
I don't know, I think it's a mixture of everything, that.
Aye.
It's getting to his head, innit?
Again, he said, honestly, he went right over his head. Everyone says, I couldn't believe me and him we're coming into the Hydro and everyone's going, fucking love you on the show, love you in the show.
Who? They've said that to you? Swift?
He's a great open goal. Be like, we only played 17 years of football.
Mate, Derek could
probably never just remember a youngsters.
easily
Easily.
the best guy that's ever lived, Derek, isn't he?
Derek?
Best guy you'd ever meet, isn't he?
Good guy.
So calm.
His performance after Hydro years in the text messages was fucking surreal, wasn't it?
Mate, he was honestly like the top man in Sanctuary.
But was he
just
just-
sitting with his boys, fucking giving it the big in.
His boys came a bit though, didn't they?
That was the only thing about the Sanctuary, because everyone was split up. We should have all been together.
We're going to get a wee day though, aren't we,
Do you know what I
Si?
mean?
Yeah, we're going to get a date to kind of properly celebrate the
Are
Hydro.
you going to come this time?
Aye, if there's nobody else there, if it's just us, I don't like other people really, do I struggle with it, so if it's just us, I'll be there.
Yeah. All right. Grosvenor Sport, still doing the treble odds.
How'd you get on last night, Champions League?
What was it? Went through and away goals. Went through and away goals, mate, so there you go. And at the next round. No, they've qualified already. They've only played 2 games in the group, but they've qualified. Grosvenor.
Oh, the Grosvenor, well done, brilliant.
And they were in a group with PSG, Real Madrid and Barca.
Done it.
But that's them qualified already. So any odds, any
goal
bet, any
goal
spot.
difference.
Goal difference. Sign up now.
Sign up now for that. Have you had a wee bet on recently? In Grosvenor? You're a membership, aren't you? What is it, the gold cards you've got?
Down there, the casinos, yes. Love it. Go to London, go in there, it's nice.
What gold card do you like? Better that or Stringfellas?
Well, I've not got a card for Sinclair, I've just got an honorary membership, lifetime membership.
Brilliant, isn't it?
I know.
Is it still kicking about? Stringfellas?
Well, it was a couple of months ago.
Relegated, didn't they?
It was a couple of months ago when I was in.
Relegated.
It was a couple of months ago when I was in, it was nice.
What, you were in Stringfellas a couple of months ago?
Oh.
By the way, why have you never offered to take us down and...
Why don't we do a celebration with Hydro there?
Great shit.
Celebration.
That'd be unbelievable, wouldn't it?
It's a good place. It's a good place.
Bet it is.
It's a good place. I've been to them all. When they had it in America, I went to the opening in America.
Did you cut the thing?
New York, we were in the corner, and the one in LA. Brilliant.
No, you never.
I went to them all.
Mate, I told you about that one when I was in LA,
Oh,
but I didn't know Frank, in a night out, and a woman, American woman, heard my accent, came out to me. It was like, the last time I heard a Scottish accent was Frank McAvenny. I didn't know you at the time.
And what?
nice.
It was your nice looking?
Beautiful. So no, it was like a 40, she's brilliant. She's like, and she did a wee smile to us. That was the last I seen her.
What a hero.
Frank McAvenny, even known in America.
Love that.
But
Right,
Si,
good news, mate.
Bad for
That was
America.
brilliant, wasn't it? Compelling, I'd say it was.
so Dave Cormack.
Dave Cormack,
He's went and
who's named the training ground after himself.
No way.
It's the Aberdeen training ground.
No, don't be silly.
Isn't it?
Can't it be that? Can't it be
And
that?
no done a shite in the place, in the job 2 minutes, and he's named the training ground after himself.
I'm superb. I like that. I like that. But here, so
Done
he's
BBC.
came out and done But on the BBC when it's sports sound and keep it. Now, when I grew up, or even about a year ago, if I heard any sort of chairman or director whatever coming out, I'd be like, what you doing? Leave the manager and players to deal with the club. But then again,
it's his decisions that are getting scrutinised.
If I'm sitting there and make a decision and it's getting slaughtered as usual, and people are saying he should be sacked.
Say scrutinised.
Scrutinised, I should have just said that, do you know what I mean? But then, so, why should he sit back then? He should come out
I know, but he's not really got a leg to stand on because his decisions are not right because the club's not won a game.
But I'm going to play...
You know what I mean? It's like, the manager's no... So listen, it's a Premier League year and every manager gets under the spell. I mean, we were slaughtering Livingston, they won last week. You know, it swings and you get slaughtered, then all of a sudden, you know, Livingston, if they go on a run, they win an hour game, they'll be the best managers since, you know, it's just one of them. You've got to take it.
But the fans weren't happy with Derek McInnes.
I don't know why, because I was always of the view that be careful what you wish for, because Derek was a good manager. I thought he was good. I thought he was really... honestly, I thought he was a really good manager. And he just kept him up there, you know. He was... You're not going to compete against... You know, the days of competing against Celtic and Rangers, now that the money's getting flung in again, it's hard for Aberdeen and...
But Hearts are doing it.
For what, the first 9 games? But I'm talking about to get there at the end of the season. Then he was getting second and third. You know, it's an achievement, you know, that's... For Aberdeen.
They're trying to...
They're all thinking back of the Fergie era, you know, but Celtic and Rangers wasn't as good then.
But see, on Dave Coleman, I've seen him doing a few things now. I don't think it's his first time he's either been on the TV or the radio.
Right.
I disagree with that. I don't think he should be.
I don't like it. I don't, especially having to go to...
I don't think it helps the manager either, the fact that your owner or chairman's always on the radio or on the telly.
And the way... Then Stephen Glass had to come out, I don't know if it was the next day, and had to then speak about...
Justify it.
They're asking why he's coming out and talking about him. Do you know what I mean? So I don't... It probably puts me a pressure on him. But I didn't know Aberdeen were trying to change everything though.
The press are there to talk, and, so, you know, and they're there to say, if you're not doing well, press are going to forget you. You know, they're going to ask questions.
100%, aye.
You know, it's if you're doing well, they praise you.
And I felt when he came out as well, listen, I think he made some reasonable points, but he was also coming out and saying, like, Motherwell beat us, but Alan Burrows from Motherwell phoned me after and says a bit, who cares?
I know, who cares?
See these other directors that you shouldn't even be interested in.
See when he starts talking about, sorry to interrupt, see when an owner or a chairman starts talking about data and performance as well.
No, stay out of that.
It's got nothing to do with you. That's the manager's job.
A couple of boys were doing it. See the World Cup, I was laughing, and Slaven Bilic was saying, doesn't matter, they were going, we've got England 75%, you know, stats that were showing that we had the ball possession and all that, you know, I'm going, and he says, doesn't matter, you get beat 1-0. That's the only stat you should care about, and that's the only stat that Aberdeen should care about. They're not winning games.
But they obviously didn't just care about that, the fans, because Derek McInnes was giving them these stats wins. But what they weren't happy with was the style of football.
What's crazy is that I heard that an Aberdeen fan came on the show after it and said it's got to a stage where we want to kind of scrap this idea and we want to get back to just winning ways, but he didn't want that. So I mean, so I don't understand where... But I didn't know Aberdeen have changed it all. They want to change it, and I don't think they want a manager anymore, they want a head coach, and the recruitment system is more bringing a lot of more youth through. So
I get they're trying to on the front foot, but they've not got... It's like Celtic playing the front foot. They've not got the players like Celtic, so they're not scoring enough goals.
But you need to give the guy time, 100%, I think.
I think you got to give him a wee bit of time, but I heard that some of the older players don't like the manager, so whether that's true or not, you know.
Right.
So there you go.
Joe Lewis, he's been dropped, hasn't he?
Joe Lewis has been dropped.
Which is strange because he was captain last season. To go for captain to then, obviously.
No playing.
Not to play.
But then in Stephen Glass's defence, Joe Lewis has made a few mistakes.
No, listen, I have no problem with it. I actually quite like it. Managers sometimes maybe go in and they're scared to make decisions with the senior players and the more experience. I think you should treat everybody, not treat everybody, because seniors sometimes need a wee bit more respect, whatever it is, but you should be making decisions on the performances. The
one thing I didn't like with what's went on as well is, I think the budget you've gave Stephen Glass is a big budget. He's brought in guys like Scott Brown. But why not give Derek McInnes a year of that budget and go, right, Derek, can you go and change the way we play with that budget? We're going to get you better players in. Can you go maybe play in a more attractive style of football?
I think he could say.
And I think Derek McInnes would. I think so. I think he deserved that chance of that budget to go and compete this year and see how he got on.
I don't think that was right that he never got that chance. What he done.
I thought Stephen Glass, I don't know the boy, but no disrespect, He never gave him the job in America. He gave him the youth job or something, innit? It was the reserves, like
He was getting
reserves.
the B team.
He never gave him the job was up, and he never gave him that out there. He's given him Aberdeen.
I think Dave McCormick's point was that they've not won a cup, or they've won one cup in the time that Rangers got put in divisions, and he was expecting maybe a bit better. But Derek McInnes came up against I think he was in every final, and he came up against Brendan Rodgers' Celtic team, which were a top team.
But even when he was saying that, he was like, "Oh, we finished second, and that was without Rangers and Hearts and Hibs." You're like, mate, as if you're trying to convince everybody, and you're trying to discredit. But I don't know. They're obviously, but see this with they've got a head coach in, and they've got a youth. But have they got the right people in to bring the right?
Has he brought in a director? I think he wants to do it himself, doesn't he? It seems to me. Has he brought in? Has he brought in a guy that's director of football? Has he brought in head of recruitment?
I always say the manager needs to sign his own players, right? But if a manager comes in and gets a budget, signs all his own players, and then 6 months he goes, and a new manager comes in, he's stuck with the players doesn't want. So I can understand why a club is set up. You've got a structure. So when a manager comes in, but does he know what he's looking for, or you need to get the right people in to do their jobs?
Yeah, definitely.
I think he's obviously getting involved with the manager as well, isn't he, the chairman? So you can't do that.
He does seem the type that again, I'm more speculating. He seems the type that takes a lot to do with the football.
When you say to me he's named the training ground, that's he should be naming. It should be Alex Ferguson should be. Yeah. He's the best manager they've had. Wally Millers, Alan McLeish, something like that. No. McCormick.
Yeah. One thing I will say is, see if you're going to come on, see if you're going to be willing enough to put your hand up and say, I want to come on, I want to justify it. You can't then turn around and say to Kenny McIntyre, no, I'm not happy with the questions that you're asking.
No, that's what he's got every right to ask the questions.
It's good to that. I liked it, man.
Kenny's brilliant. Kenny, I
like that. Before you tell your story, Frank, see, managers and that didn't like his line of questioning, but see, if I'm a manager and I'm not doing well, like you say, mate, you've got to part of it. It's part of the job of being a manager.
There's no point in going into and when you're not playing well and not getting questions.
He's not doing his job properly if he goes in there and doesn't ask him.
Yeah.
He's doing what people think,
And he's heard, he obviously, he was at one of the games and Aberdeen fans were saying to him, weren't they happy? So he's got every right to say that not every Aberdeen fan's happy with what's going on.
But all he's got to do is look, well, it's a work in progress, we're trying, and don't have a go at the press because it's not David him.
I didn't get
that.
It's
Kenny.
I didn't at Stephen Glass as well, saying there was an agenda against Aberdeen.
No.
Derek McInnes finished third and get
he's
a hell of a lot of
stick. So he's tried to do that, we're one with our own mentality. You know what I mean? That's one of the MC's mentality. That's what they're trying to do. Rangers done it, but Aberdeen don't do it,
See what that?
I wonder what Scott Brown's making it of, because he'll not be like that. I mean, that's him get 10 in a row now, isn't he? 10 games to
10 games to win.
But Scott will not be like that. I mean, get up there and I just don't know. I think they'll get some decent players that. Is it the way they play? Because get Lewis and that, and they're good players,
Because even the chairman's coming and going, even Lewis Ferguson said the standards haven't been great. You're like, mate, what are you talking about?
I know why you even.
Shut up. And see all that, and Stephen Glass and him talk about the press agenda, my phone in these chairmans just saying we're doing well, and directors in the stadium are saying we're doing well. Like, you're like, mate, shut up. Just concentrate on the club.
Telling you what you want to hear. That's all the director telling the chairman, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, man.
See, that's what I liked about Hearts last year. Robbie Nielsen was obviously under a bit of pressure, but not once did the owner or chairman feel like they come out and justify.
The fans, I'm going, what?
I would feel a wee bit like if somebody came out and was like, oh, he's doing well, I'd be like, you make me look like a wee...
If I was the manager, mate, and my chairman's coming in, you would be raging. Me personally.
100%, I'd be embarrassed.
So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But on that one way, Kenny McIntyre, it's a cracker, that story, wasn't it?
Tell us the story, Frank.
No, but Tom Cowan, the one, Tom told it. I was in the show. It was in the morning, and anyway, Kenny's got a phone call. His phone went, and he had to go. The producers had to take him in the other room. He says, "Let him about a couple of minutes. We're recording the show." But he's left the tape running that day, My phone went, and it was like some girl. She gone out there. She says, "Fucking neighbours must have thought I was killing you last night." And this is on tape. So everybody at BBC is listening to that. I was like, how embarrassing is that? I didn't know I was still on tape. Quality. Kenny's like, brilliant. I like Kenny, he's alright. He's a good.
He's had a few runners, so was it Lenny he had a run with? I think Jack Rossi had a run with last year.
What was the one?
Because he's so direct to his questions.
What was the one with Lenny? Was it last season?
Last season, I can't remember exactly what happened, but Lenny wasn't happy with him.
It probably Lenny it was a wrong moment because he's been He was under pressure a lot last year, wasn't he?
As long as it's
Probably
done
just-
properly,
I know.
though. I don't like.
But I think he does do it properly.
No,
I
aye.
listen to any questions.
The
I think
best
you're
one, the
ordered
best one ever was Chick Young with Walter Smith.
that's
That
so
was the
good, isn't it?
best one.
Poor Chick, man. Shut yourself, didn't he?
Archie.
Hey, you listen to this fucking idiot.
I think Archie will have ram up
I'd
his
stick
arse.
that mic up his ass. Chick was like that, yes please.
Take his arse at
Absolute brilliant. Hey, you listening to the crap this guy's talking?
But then
Absolutely
talking
superb.
about, obviously, we were saying that it's obviously maybe put me a pressure. Hibs, no, Hibs are in a bad, but I know a bad run, but I know.
I didn't see that coming last week. That
No.
Hibs getting beat at home.
So who do you fancy for this one? Hibs Aberdeen.
It's a good time for Aberdeen to get Hibs, I think, now. I don't think McGinn's fit. I don't think Porte's can
Oh,
play.
is that
He's
right?
still suspended.
Oh, right.
2 big players for them.
Well, I just thought at home after the Ibrox game, I thought they'll beat Dundee United, and how wrong was that? You know, got St Mirren right though. That was good.
St Mirren are flying now.
What would you say, Si, when people say about the inexperience of Stephen Glass, but then that chairman was saying
I always
Cam
say this,
Courts
Paul, right?
and Cam Davidson?
Yeah, and that's fair enough. But I always think a club like Hearts, Aberdeen, I think you should get the Hearts and Aberdeen job based on merit and what you've done at a previous club. Because they're such big clubs, mate. I think they're the sort of clubs
Great
that you
point.
get the Hearts or the Aberdeen job because you've done well at a St Johnstone or a St
Johnstone.
Mirren. I thought Jim Goodwin would have been a
Stuck on for
perfect,
Aye. Hey,
a
leave him
perfect
alone.
candidate for Aberdeen.
Leave him alone. He's
For
all right.
St Mirren,
He's all right with his.
Even if you knew Derek McInnes was leaving and you seen what Callum Davidson was doing,
Yeah.
he'd have been another one that I'd have went
Aye.
Yeah.
and maybe had a chat with. But again, teams like St Johnstone, I can see why St Johnstone take a wee risk with a manager.
But he'd been under Stratton with Scotland. He'd been under Tommy
Down
Wright, so he'd
south
been
as
obviously
well.
learning his thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think Stephen Glass had obviously worked under him doing Scotland.
Yeah.
So that is different. Tam Courts, I don't know what was he the Celtic manager?
But Tam Courts, I think he'd worked with I think Dundee United's team's a lot of young players now who Tam Courts have maybe worked for 2 or 3 years with. So
Yeah.
you can see Dundee United's kind of thinking behind that as well. I think they want to get back to bringing youth players through. So you could see they're thinking with that. Whereas the Stephen Glass one was for me, it was a weird appointment.
I think
Based
so.
on his past
I think
experience.
you know him as a player, but he's been away and you don't know. Because in America, nobody knows. It's like nobody knows what he's been doing. But what is it, a B team or the third team?
Atlanta B team.
Was it a B team? Is it?
Yeah.
So it's like reserves.
But do you think Aberdeen was massive?
I think it's
club?
better. I think it's better than that. Listen, he's not going to get unless Cormac's so stubborn that he's going to keep him in the job. If he don't start winning games, he'll not be there long. He can't be there long. Unfortunate, no matter how nice a guy is, football's it's a result business.
Yeah.
If you don't get the results, you're it. I mean, it's brutal.
I will say, I think he has been unlucky in certain games. Like again, I watched him
Aye.
against it, man. I thought they were really good for the first 45 minutes. And then your man Jenks goes and gets sent off. As a manager, what can you really do? But I think Andy said that Aberdeen are probably
Was
the
he
best
good
team
enough-
Hearts have
when you
played
get a
this
man
year.
saying, "Oh, something good managers know how to change it."
He took too long to change it, didn't he?
Aye.
I think he said that himself. So
I think
it'll be a good
they're
game, this Aberdeen Hibs.
Aye.
I think there's a lot. How's the Hibs fans with Jack Ross?
Again, I only really go on what I see on Twitter, but
Aye.
it's always negative on Twitter, isn't it?
Aye.
You don't know if there's a wee bit of pressure on.
Think so?
No,
I don't think so. That's a
I think so.
shocking.
They've been playing well. I think they've been playing well.
I don't know. I think the last couple of games. It'll be brilliant that game actually, wouldn't it?
I think this is where Jack Ross has been good to it. When Hibs do suffer a setback, it doesn't seem to last for too long.
No,
He's very good at getting them back on track quickly.
He done well. I thought he done very, very well at St Mirren. I was in a couple of times and seen him firsthand coaching the boys. So got a lot of respect for him. So I think they get done last week. I think they'll be up for the game against Aberdeen.
I think Hibs will
Aye,
do Aberdeen up there.
I
If they
think
do, Stephen Glass will be up because then they've got Rangers away the next game.
Yeah.
Where did they
I
get
think
the
he
points
said
from?
he's.
And
I'm sure. Am I right in saying I heard Cormac said 12 games?
Did he?
Let's have a look at the next 12 games and see where we are.
Aye. That's okay. That's him get half a season then. So really in it.
Yeah. So who are you fancying for this one?
Hibs.
Do you, right?
So absolutely.
I think so. I just don't see enough. I don't see enough in Aberdeen that's made me believe that they can go and win games. I just look as if they're all individuals.
Again, I always think as well, mate, although the boy Ramsey, McKenzie have done, see when you're doing there, it's an experienced back four
I know.
especially, I think it's tough. It's tough to go and ask these guys to perform week in, week out when you're struggling.
And they play very high up them, don't they? So Gallagher and Bates, and that, they could be exposed there.
Yeah. Constantine's a big miss for him as well. He's talking about young players, you need that bit of experience at the back. Losing Andy Constantine's been a big blow for Stephen Glass as well.
And I'll go back to the chairman, I heard him saying about Constantine, he went, even he's saying it looks really good. You're like, mate, come on.
I know, that's...
Do you know what I mean?
Talk about centre half, what about the boy Duffy's getting man of match every week and they're doing it.
Brighton, I know. Just shows you
shows
how
good Scotland does, mate,
but that's recruitment with Celtics, we spoke about it. Because Brighton defend on the 18-yard line, so he doesn't have to run. But Celtic defend at the halfway line. I mean, surely somebody for Celtic should have noticed that. You know, I just think sometimes recruitment's wrong.
Fascinating.
Not just Celtic, a lot of clubs. I think Aberdeen's not done themselves any favours, and some of the players that they've let go and some of the players that have come in, no matched up.
Yeah. Connor Goldson's came out, says he's not heard anything about his new contract. You buying that?
Nah.
But it's good, I'd be the same, isn't he? Putting getting away, is there? Should you? I don't know, maybe fans want to hear it, but he could come out and say something that I'm not happy with the deal, then it just creates even worse.
Yeah.
The club
I think he's got to be...
Think he'll leave to go back to
I think he's be very careful. He came there free. Can he get a game and he's worked at Rangers, and listen, this is my own belief. The boys have worked the back for it. I mean, you're a coach, you see it, everyone knew what they were doing. There was no individuals, and that's what's happening now. They're all individuals at the back, and that's why they're not playing as well as what they have been. They're letting go. So I've got the guys. He's got to be very careful because he'll realise he'll go down to England again, and he'll realise that Rangers are a big club, you know, and he'll miss it. But
I totally get what you're saying.
I think he's getting a wee bit obviously. If he's not getting the right contract, fine. But for what I hear, there's a contract, good contract.
But that's because we're all Celtic or Rangers fans up here. But see, these guys are the Celtic or Rangers fans, and you can talk about how big the club is as much as you want. But if you get a chance to get an extra 20 or 30 grand down south,
well, it's all money now, innit? I know. I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 grand. Of course, it's a lot of money. You know what I mean? It's a good weekend for me, but it's...
But you know what I'm saying?
No, when the Celtic players, like, when I was there, Hooper and stuff like that, they were loved with Celtic, so you're like, I would never ever leave. But when like, Norwich and that came down to them, it then becomes money, and they're going back to their country and where they want to play.
I think when you look back in your career with these guys, Celtic and Rangers will probably be your most enjoyable time playing in front of big crowds at big clubs. But memories didn't set you up for the rest of your life.
I know.
Maybe Celtic and Rangers for 4 or 5 years and then going down there and getting that extra 20 grand a week. See, being a football player at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, isn't it?
I know.
It's making as much as you can in that short space of time. And I can totally see, obviously we find to understand when guys like Edouard leaves for Palace in terms of club size, but when you think of the money, mate, it's a no-brainer for these guys.
You've got loyalty as well, I mean...
But do you need to have loyalty, Frank? Why?
When I played, they did. You know, when I played, I had the chance.
But it wouldn't have been that big as big a difference with a Celtic and a West Ham in terms of money, would there? So it was easy to be loyal then. Now it's very hard to be loyal when you get...
I had the chance to go to Arsenal and it was money, it was double the wages, and I said no.
Really?
Yeah. They were going to win the league and West Ham were going to get relegated. I knew that. And I went there. It's just loyalty. It's just the fans loved this when I went the first time, and I just thought, I couldn't do that. I couldn't go to Arsenal just because of playing for West Ham. I just think
they're kind of rivals.
I couldn't go to Rangers because of my affiliation with Celtic. It's just, but it's not because of anything else. Boys are like, why do you not go? And because I'm a Celtic supporter.
I think you'll struggle to find anybody though, Frank.
And nowadays it's changed. I get you, but I get it. But I mean, we're all playing football, right? We all go and pay £3, Coisty, Big Jig, all the boys, you know, Chris Boyd. We'll go and play Simon Donald. We'll have a laugh. Go and play a couple of times a week. And can you see the boys nowadays playing? Who in today's game love the game enough to go and play football after they finish? You know, I don't know anyone.
But it's not only that you're going down on 50, 60, Slaney, it's also the fact that if you do well for a year or two, you're going on to 100 and 120. Like Van Dijk, Southampton, Liverpool, Wanyama, Southampton, Spurs.
Yeah.
I think a lot of decisions are made on managers. I'd love to play for that manager, you know. And I mean, a lot of people, I look at Mourinho and I think, I'd love to play for him. You know, I read Zlatan's book, and that's why he didn't have enough good words to say about him. He says he argues with you. He said, then it's finished. It's done. He said, and you walk on, he says, when he was arguing with Pogba and that, he festered and put it on social media and all that. And, you know, you can't do that. You know, and that's why there was a fallout. But I'm going, you know, I just, certain managers, I don't know who would come to Aberdeen for Stephen Glass, you know.
I don't know.
You know, and that's what we're talking about. I just think a lot of players want to go for, he's a good manager, I'll go, I'll do that. Because the money's more or less the same nowadays, isn't it? Especially up here.
I honestly, as much as I'd love it to think that somebody really loves the club and they've given the opportunity and stuff. And
Mate, Larson.
Any walk of life, Ty.
Larson was one that...
Larson was good, he was brilliant.
No, but I'm saying Larson probably could have went and doubled his money somewhere else instead.
A great point.
No, we did.
Paul McStay was at 11, wasn't it?
Paul stayed.
Could have left.
Paul stayed, he's quite clear.
Yeah.
And then never got a job, wanted to work for him, never got a job.
But any walk of life though, you don't know. Any job, if you're going to get more money, you're going to go.
I wonder why Larson never went in.
Paul had the chance to go
That's strange, that.
Paul had the chance to go to
Do you remember? Who was Man U?
Yeah, Man U know that, but I think Man U know that, but after him when he was in his
prime.
His prime,
His pomp. He was showing off. And I'm glad he went.
But the Celtic will pay more than no Man U.
I'm glad he went to Barcelona because people were saying, anyone can score in Scotland and all that kind of crap. And he went to Barcelona and Man United and he's ripped it up there. So I'm delighted that it just showed up because people still think, anyone can score in Scotland, which is a lot of crap.
But see, if you're Gerrard, what do you do in that situation in January if he's still not signed? Do you let him go?
You've got to get rid of him.
I disagree.
Aye.
Because there's so much money if you win the league now. You go straight in the Champions League. That makes up for your transfer fees for him.
If he keep
up, he does well, yeah.
Celtic done it last year.
Depends on his performance.
I said at the start of the season, Edward, Aya and Christie didn't want to be there. I get slaughtered for that last year. Absolutely slaughtered. And Edward, he scored three against Hamilton and he put on Twitter, it's no bad for somebody that doesn't look interested. You know what I mean? And I came back, shouldn't worry about that. I always scored 4 against Hamilton, so it didn't bother me. But the thing is, I knew that he was not interested. He didn't want to be there. So they must see that every day in training.
But I don't think Goldson's been like that for Rangers. I don't think you could look at Goldson and think he doesn't want to be there.
I don't know, I don't watch him. So
you need to see him every day, don't you? It would all come down to the manager.
I couldn't imagine anybody like under Gerrard. I couldn't imagine it.
No, I wouldn't think so. No, with Gerrard and Gary Mackey's, they're good football guys. They know that. They're the same as us. They would know if they're not down tools. But you know what I mean. I'm not saying anyone down tools, but it's just if they're wanting to move, they're not going to go. They're not going to chase the things. They're not going to tackle. They're not going to go into tackles that the fans are going, geez, you won that.
You're not going to get a lot for Goldson now, though, are they?
He's 29, isn't he?
And 6 months
I would keep him to the end of the season.
But anything's good enough because he was a free.
Yeah.
So anything that gets, and just get what he's paid him, what they've paid him, get back, and they'll be delighted with that, I would imagine.
He's the best defender there.
Best centre half.
Aye. Best centre half there. So I kind of see what you would get.
I just think they're not really that. I'm not saying they're not good centre halves. I don't mean that, but they're just so worked as a unit.
Yeah.
I think they're worked as a unit, and that's been their strongest point. It's like, you do it coaching, repetition. It's boring. But then on Saturday, it just comes, and that's why you work at it. And that's why you train every day. So I just think there's no many, I'm not saying they're not good players, but there's no many stars that.
But it's tough for centre halves these days, I think, because full backs are so attacking. You're left to defend 2v2 a lot of the times. Do you know what I mean? Whereas before you had somebody in front of you protecting you had a full-back coming in, but now coaches are so...
For Rangers though, I think it'd be... They dominate the games, do you know what I mean, with the possession and stuff. Maybe in Europe it may be harder, but
I think
for Rangers it must be...
For centre-halves, you cruised it when you played the centre-half.
Yeah.
Because there's only one player up front. They only play one up front. It's no coincidence Leicester and Arsenal won visible 4-4-2. Nobody could handle them because the defenders didn't know how to handle two strikers. It's no rocket science. It's no rocket science, is it? The game's easy. It's coaches that mess it up.
That's why Van Dijk's the best, because he can defend 1v1.
And his pace as well.
That's what I mean. He can defend 1v1. All right, big win for St Mirren last week. County. I think 3 on the bounce have won now. Tricky game for Rangers going to St Mirren.
Called it big time. I thought they'd beat them up there. I thought they'd beat them. I think Jim's got them all fighting each other. And he brought some good players in. I think he'd done some decent players. I think he's going to go on a wee run.
What? So you think if you're saying they're going to go on a wee run, you think they're going to take something for Rangers this weekend?
Listen, I don't know. The way Rangers are playing, the way St Mirren playing, I wouldn't back them. But you never know because Rangers not playing well. I wouldn't, and the same will happen in the cup. They went there and beat them in the cup. So I wouldn't. They'll take more points this year off the teams run about them than what they were. Listen, when you're playing for someone, I know it's going to be, but Celtic and Rangers, that's what you get for that. It's a bonus. You know, that's you don't. The manager will no bank on any of the points. So you're looking at teams running about you, and that's what you've got to get, and that's what St Mirren's doing. Whereas they weren't doing that last year. You know what I mean? They were a couple of years. They weren't doing it, getting the points for the teams running about them, and they're doing that now.
Frank, what do you think about Morelos? He obviously done a lot of up for the team, but do you think as a striker he needs to be scoring more goals?
Steven Gerrard will not be happy, and apparently he was not happy with him because see when you scuff one from that one, but he scuffed a couple, and I'm thinking that's just concentration. That's lack of concentration. He's no, you know, he's no aware that things happening. Then all of a sudden it's coming to him, and he's scuffing it. I mean, for a striker, a top striker to do that, you know, it's as if his mind's elsewhere, you know.
But people say confidence. I don't think he's the type that loses confidence.
No with him. No with him. It's lack of concentration. You know, I think that's what it is.
And is that because he's been asked to do so much outside the box, that lack of concentration?
I don't know if he's been asked to do that. I think it's part of his game now. But see when the ball comes over, I mean, listen, he's having a strike at goal. You had a corner flag. That's not a do with the manager. It's not a do with anybody asking you to do some runs. Yeah. Because it's, you know, it's just lack of concentration. And how many times when he goes, he looks at the sky, because it didn't look as if he's hurting. I mean, see when you miss a chance, you know, it looks as if he was still thinking about the last one he missed. And you can't do that as a striker.
I never feel though they're the same team.
No.
Without Morelos.
I'm not saying how he's a good player, but it's just I don't think it's something to do with the organisation. I don't think it's anything to do with that. That's just concentration. I think he's got to get up, and I think the manager's got to get up back into him. He's got to concentrate for the 90 minutes, you know. Because they could have scored a bundle of goals. Yeah. You know.
Tricky one for Rangers. I think they'll have enough to beat St Mirren.
I've not seen St Mirren side.
No.
Brilliant.
I seen them at the start of the season were a wee bit early, Gaff, weren't they? But
I think Rangers will have enough to beat St Mirren.
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
I think it's St Mirren.
They played well first half. If they played the way they did first half against Hearts,
St Mirren,
they should have enough. On paper,
I thought if Morelos had scored the goals, they'd have won comfortable.
Yeah.
So you're looking at, I'm not going to take them my thing, mate, because I've stayed away from the Old Firm, haven't I? I can't take St Mirren this week. Can't take them.
Frank, did you have when you played, did you have a nickname and the boys called you? We were doing this all day.
Shagger.
That's easy, isn't it?
Easy.
Shouldn't have asked that, should I?
Nah. It's a given, wasn't it?
Big boy.
But here, Si, you're blown away with Ange Postecoglou. How well has they played, mate, honestly?
I know.
Me personally, love the style. I know you didn't like it, I love it, mate.
Do you know what, I'm just not used to it. I'm used to
really enjoy watching it.
This is what we're talking about earlier, and this is what I think. Why would McGregor, who's one of your most influential players, be at full back, slide tackling to knock out for a corner? But
that's the game now, isn't it? That's the game now.
It's not a game, it's Celtic's game.
Do you watch Canty for Chelsea? He's all over the place getting the ball back. Why should Callum McGregor be different?
Canty's sitting there, he's up, he can't.
McGregor's a sitter. So when your full backs go high, you're the guy who's got to get across and cover.
McGregor's a player that takes a lot of number 10.
But you need to be both now, don't you?
Can you?
Of
get
course.
2 wages.
I love it, mate. Honestly, love it. See when I play Callum McGregor's position, he's got so many options when you get the ball.
When he gets
within 5-10 yards
players that can play that. That's what I'm no. You know, I'm looking at Montgomery in the centre circle and Ralphs in the centre circle, and the boys are chasing back, and I'm going, why do you not chase back and let them do it? They're the boys.
Because you're creating overloads in the middle of the pitch so you can dominate the game.
I don't care what you say. See if I was playing with Paul McStay would get out of here. I don't want you here.
I know,
he
but the game's
want
done for that,
the full-backs in there. You think Souness would want the full-backs in there.
But that's why last season Celtic just passed the ball about the back. That's because last year they passed the ball about the back, sideways, back to the keeper. Now they're playing
I'm not saying
midfield.
It's wrong, I'm just, it's not, he's got to get his own players to do that.
I think the players are doing all right.
I think
certainly.
Listen, I was at the game on Tuesday, they could have scored a couple of goals.
But watch Liverpool play, Frank. They always concede a couple of chances every game. So do Man City, but they dominate the ball and they've got more chance of scoring more goals than the opposition.
I think when at the period at the start of the season, remember they went in the run and they were blowing teams away and it was gung-ho, but there was always a vulnerability side at the back. V Hearts, they were amazing. They scored 3 and then Hearts scored 2 and made it close. I think the last few games looks better overall now.
I think it's a team in transition. I mean, listen, I'm not being funny. Starfelt and Vickers, people are saying, wow, hopeless. I'm going, they've never played. They've never played with full-backs that are going into midfield. Yeah. They've never done that before. So they're going to have to take time to work it out because And they're getting that way. I mean, Starfield was brilliant the other day. A couple of missed passes, what he's done. But if he drops out of his game, then he's a good signing, you know. But he's just...
But you again, you were saying about... I think this has brought the best out of Roderick and Turnbull. You get them higher up the pitch. Turnbull scored 9 goals this year playing this way. Because he doesn't need to go and drop back onto the halfway line and play the passes. He's receiving it on the edge of the box. He's getting in the box now because the two full backs are there. He can go and play further forward.
And I think you've seen a much better McGregor this season than last season.
Important. He was brilliant again against Farrans Faros.
He's the one that can break the lines with the passes and that.
Wolf is the worst penalty I've seen.
He looked nervous, but to be fair, but
why was he taking it? I don't know why he took it. Who else takes it? I mean,
Kyogo?
I think if nobody was standing up, me as a centre forward, I'd have took it.
Centre forward should be hitting penalties.
Oh, but every club I went to, they always said, when at West Ham, Reece Stewart never missed a penalty, so I couldn't take it. Julian Dix, second time he never missed a penalty. Up here, it was wee Andy took the penalties, very seldom missed it. You know, so when you come into a team that somebody's taking a penalty, you just let them go, don't you?
Yeah.
But I get really excited. Sometimes it's hard to judge or take any SCCs because I go over the top if they're one performance or whatever. But the time he's been in,
how he's got them playing
for last season, for the summer, the players that left, the big players that left. I mean, what is it? They finished 30 or 25 points or something behind Rangers in that space already. And we're talking, even if he then gets a few more players in, maybe his style.
That's what
it's exciting.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not having a go at it. It's just I'm not used to it. So I'm not used to saying that.
Open your mind, Frank.
I just don't want my midfield players. I mean,
your two full-backs stayed back last year. What good did that do?
Okay. But listen, middle to front, Celtic's superb. I think it's superb. I just think
it's a fair
you've got
point.
to get used to it. The boys have got to get used to it. They're not used to doing that either. So I'm not being too critical on them. They need time, or they need to get the players in that's used to that.
I think once you get the Croatian boy playing in that right back, he's more than comfortable going playing in.
But listen, I think it's a fair point you actually make, Frank, because
right?
No, and the reason I say that, Si, is I think I mean Guardiola does it. I seen
Cancelo scored
Bayern
full back again in the Champions League.
I watched Bayern.
You're talking about Man City. I mean, the boys are on $500,000 a week.
But the issue,
there's a big difference between Cancelo and Ralston. But come on.
Although they're on $500,000 a week,
500.
if they're playing for another team, it comes down to Guardiola's coaching and why they can do it now. Because Cancelo came in, he couldn't do it for. He was still on $500,000 a week, but after a while being coached with Guardiola, he's now so comfortable doing it.
Do you not think, like, sometimes you need the boys they need the players that's used to that? I think he'll step into the Japanese league and get boys.
But the reason I say
I think he'll bring some
that can do it
for January.
Listen, everybody needs
do
time.
that and used to it.
Everybody needs time, but the reason I say I think it's a fair point to say it now is because V Leverkusen a wee bit better class. Conceded 2 goals by Ralston receiving the ball in the middle, gives it away, and there was nobody there to cover, and that's where the Leverkusen manager actually said they identified that, and that's the reason they went and scored their goals. But again, that comes down to time.
But
again, exactly, mate. He's playing against top opposition who beat Bayern Munich. No, so of course it's going to take 18 months, mate. I think for them to get it.
But there's
they get 18 months.
Aye,
I think he will. Nah.
And he's not one of these.
I hope so.
He's not one of these idiots that go. He keeps going about time and time, and he knows.
Yeah.
They're going to. He still wants to win the league, and they're going for the league. And do you know what I mean? He still knows what.
I think he's
was important to win.
He's loving it here, but I think he's still. This is me personally. I think he's still got to get his own people in. I mean, I think that's.
But if he's the man that I think he is, and he's got the coaches doing what he wants them to do, then what is it? I know. You need somebody you can talk to. I know.
You made an arse of that. You know, and John and Strachan's not going to do that. I mean, Strachan's already because apparently Gordon's got. He's another one of the family doing the kit.
Is he? Who's it? Mrs.
I don't know. So there's three Strathans in there.
Imagine me Stratton in the kit, it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? But again, you don't know what his relationship with John Kennedy is like. They could be good part. They could get on quite well.
But you see him, he's never out of dugout, John, now, so.
But maybe that's came from Postecoglou saying, you stay in there, I'm the man that's here.
I know John. John's not going to tell Ange, you know, you made an ass of that, you know, and you picked the wrong player. Or sometimes you can't just want to hear what you want to hear. You know, sometimes somebody's got to tell you the truth. You know, you would do it with your gaffer up the road. You go, fucking hell, what are you doing? You know, and sometimes managers make mistakes. They're not human.
Chief Master,
but you need somebody to tell them. And I think if he brings his own guy in, we have even one to sit having a coffee after the game or whatever, or having a glass of wine and say, okay, we got away with that, didn't we?
But then you could say on the flip side, Brendan Rodgers still managed to do well with John Kennedy as assistant manager. It wasn't his guy.
It wasn't assistant manager. He had his team there, didn't he?
His team, all right.
That's what I'm saying. He had somebody there to tell him. I'm not having a go at John. I'm just thinking, John's not the kind of guy that will go and say to anybody, you made an ass of that.
Do you think?
No, I don't know. I don't know
When
well
he was
enough.
there, I don't know, but when I was there, he was...
I don't know well enough, but
I think Kendall's
I ain't shouting at the players.
Yeah.
But would they tell the manager he made a mistake?
I think he would tell me
if he would be comfortable in doing
thinks.
that. I don't know if he'd be comfortable in doing that way, especially with Andrew, who's, or Brendan,
But my pet hate in football is when I see a manager at the touchline assistant start running there and shouting about him, sit the fuck back down the manager.
Aye.
Let the manager do that.
Oh,
And if
aye.
you get something to say, wait for him to sit down and whisper in his ear.
Yeah.
That's why you're assistant.
I know, that's what I'm talking about. Half time or after the game, say you made an ass of that.
I've had many fights in the side against football.
With the assistant piping up.
Parents.
When I've turned up to the coach and another coach is standing there.
So she message you're talking about?
Sometimes she turns up and she whispers my ear. She says, why don't you try that? Why don't you sit the fuck down? I say, why are you here? She says, the boss told me to come along and support you today. I ain't need support.
No.
Do you know what I mean? We're playing
You're a lone wolf, aren't you? Let's hear you do a wolf noise.
No, I'm playing seven-a-side. I'm playing seven-a-side football here. No, but listen, it's my pet hate. I've seen a few assistants doing it, and Damina's the manager.
I know it does. I know it
No.
does.
Wait, sorry, what's the manager?
What's the word when you belittle somebody, but a wee bit like we were talking.
Moans.
No, belittle, innit?
Undermines the manager.
Undermine.
Brilliant. Producer's been at it for the last few weeks.
Right, he's back.
The notes he's been getting us.
Listen, Dundee, Jason, Pate, delighted for him.
Good. First win, the hard man.
First one on the board. Can they trouble Hearts on beating on at Tynecastle this weekend?
No.
Why?
No.
Hearts.
Dundee have got quality though.
I know.
Not 100%, but Hearts.
Adams, Griffiths, they'll relish this big stage.
Are they too slow though, Simon? And the way Hearts play this
Aye,
3-4-3
they do.
formation with Mackay,
Quick.
Woodburn,
But do Dundee just sit in?
hit the counter.
Charlie Adams wins it back. Griffiths over the top, down the sides.
Wee Paul McMillan running into
Wee McMillan right at people.
right out the pitch.
Griffith gets some
Getting
stuff at
shies.
the weekend.
But he loves that, doesn't he?
Well, I wouldn't shout at him because good players thrive on it, didn't they? And he'll do that.
I think this could, and you'll like this, I think this could be a sticky one for Hearts.
Sticky.
Oh.
You like it?
I thought you had. No, I certainly did. I thought you had Hearts win the league though. So
No, so
Rangers are going to be sticky if you done. No, listen, I think it'll be tight, but the way Hearts are playing now, wow.
sticky and tight. I like it.
Still talking about football here, But big difference, I think Mackay's a massive signing for Hearts, isn't it? Barry Mackay.
Tell you one thing, the recruitment at Hearts this summer was nothing short of genius for Robbie Nielsen.
He's been well backed, Robbie Nielsen, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And good on the obviously
Yeah, good.
fans, but a bit of pressure on you. Somebody you should be back. But no, the recruitment's been great. And I just think the way they're playing, the boy Benny
Is he good enough for Celtic and Rangers, the boy Benny?
On his form at Hearts, you'd say so. But I remember the boy Roger signing for Kilmarnock.
Who? Malimbu?
Aye. And he didn't.
No.
He was Kilmarnock's main man, so
Yeah.
it was a different level. But he certainly looks it, doesn't he?
Couldn't handle it. But a lot of people, I mean, we've spoken about that before. A lot of people go to brilliant and they go to Celtic and can't handle
When
it.
you were at Celtic, you obviously played centre mid side and centre mids came in. Did you ever see any like that with brilliant with the like your maybe Hearts, Motherwells and then Dinny maybe? Because everybody did Hartley.
At that time, no, they were
Peterson.
good players, mate.
Good.
They were good players. They were good players.
I think even back then, just at that time, they were still looking at their mentality as well.
Yeah.
If they can handle it. Now they don't look at mentality. The dressing rooms must be hopeless. I don't know if I'd enjoy it. Didn't like training, but I love going in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Every morning getting slaughtered and everyone having a laugh. I don't know if that goes on there.
See, Gordon Strachan was very good at it, mate. Gordon Strachan was good at signing guys that fitted his style of play.
Well, that's what I mean. He does his homework.
Yeah.
And it's not just that, it's his character of the guy as well.
Yeah, he wouldn't have gone and sign like, if you were going to get a centre midfielder, he wouldn't have gone and get a ball playing six. He never really played like that. So Hartley and Robson were perfect for how
That's Derek.
they played. That's
His interview, he's going or not.
That's why when I see the wee boy Benny and how Ange wants to play,
Yeah.
about losing it and getting it back quick, I think he would suit that kind of style.
Well, they've not. I don't know if Sorrow and McCarthy actually fit his style.
Yeah.
So they maybe need somebody else. If McGregor maybe plays both, I don't know. Who knows? But he's a very good player, the boy.
Could beat on sat in there. I think that's what he's got McCarthy for, to sit just sitting there, and he's. I mean,
I don't know if James is that type on the
he
ball.
loves a tackle.
I know, but I mean, on the ball, I think that sitting player is so important the way he plays. 80% of possession. McGregor's so good at feeding it forward. I think McCarthy's more a one-up that he goes and gets in people's faces and gets it back.
I think he's going for it because you've got Turnbull, you've got McGregor. That's their job, you know. And yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting when Forrest comes back as well. It's going to be. You know,
Forrest goes back in for me. I know Aberdeen started well, but I think Forrest
playing the last couple of games. Of course, he goes in.
Yeah,
he does go in because he'll chase back more than he's kind of player. If the fullback does it, he'll go back.
Yeah.
James, you know.
I don't know how we've got back onto Celtic for Hearts and
Sorry, boys. So I just talked about Celtic.
But Robbie Nielsen touchline ban.
Touchline ban, angry man.
I know. Is he two for last year? Two for last year or something like this.
So he'll be sitting next to Andy in the stand this week. That's good for Andy. Not be on his own in the stand.
I upset again.
Will that have an impact on players? I don't think it does.
No. Shouldn't it? But well, if you
see the game better for the stand anyway, don't you? So you may enjoy it. You may enjoy it.
I think if you look at the top, I always look at the top managers and they're a reflection of who the manager is as a person and as a manager. I think that. And if you look at Liverpool, Simone, that game the other night was one of the best games I've ever watched. That game was exactly they two.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You look at Simone, you look at Klopp, where were they? Right in the touchline, fight every ball. You look at Pep, point to Foden, right in his touchline. You look at me, Solskjaer, sitting up, watching.
Mate, do not, please.
Don't start, mate.
You see, reflection of your team, and I think, I don't, maybe a one-half game, he's got a touchline ban, Nielsen, maybe won't have a big impact, but I see him at Ibrox, fighting with the rest, and it's a red card. What happens after that? They go and get a goal. Reflection of your manager on the side fighting with your team.
So instead you've got Jig out there with their teeth.
With their teeth just smiling at people.
Just smiling all the time.
Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't want to get angry because he just wants to smile.
Smile all the time. So that's not going to work. But no, listen, I think maybe in a one-half game, so I think a touchline ban shouldn't have a big impact. But listen, I think you look at your manager and that was a thing, I'm not going back and say it, but you see that and I think that's the resemblance.
No, you're right, because you can't even get sent off once.
You're right. He's mentioned that with Man United, you're right. Solskjaer, it's a reflection of the team.
Stand up.
I think Solskjaer sits in the stand because I don't think he knows what to shout in the sign.
Standing up.
They were getting beat 2-0.
He's always standing up. He just get me. He's not big enough.
They'd be better after they were 2-0. They were getting beat 2-0 at home last night.
Aye.
And at half time, he's walking down a tunnel, clapped the fans, and slaps Lindelof in the arse.
I thought you were going to say McPheelin's ass.
They're getting booed. They're getting booed. Then how can you get booed at half time and he's applauding?
He's got that time, isn't he?
And then slapped Lindelof's arse.
Did you see that when he slapped Lindelof past Mike Phelan?
How you know if they did?
Somebody said to me, Man United might be forced. They've got to go and get somebody like Conte. It'd be ideal for Man United. Conte.
But this is what we want to.
I know.
Manager's the most important person at the club. I don't care about anybody. Says recruitment's so important.
Gary Neville's right to this. Nice style. He couldn't tell you how Man United try and get the ball through that.
And that's 3 years when they
made Scholesy last night.
Brilliant.
Brilliant, wasn't he?
That's the first I've ever seen Scholesy brilliant in the media.
Oh,
he was really good.
Brilliant. He says it was so bad in the first half. He said didn't really care about the second half.
You look at the front four of Man United, their work rate compared to Liverpool's front three. Liverpool's front three are like three full-backs getting the ball back, man.
And somebody said the other day, like, how can you blame Solskjaer when players don't run? See if Klopp and Pep the Magic, you never play the club again.
Come here and sit here. Come and sit next to me.
And that's
done a lot of run.
Robbie Nielsen does it as well. I don't, as a keeper, I've said 5 times.
You're putting Robbie Nielsen in the same line as Klopp.
Yeah.
Newcastle
He's just done that.
Newcastle are looking for him, so.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the Newcastle jobs in it for a year and get a payoff, I'd take it.
What a job!
What a job!
I'd take it. It's not going to happen, is it?
Seen a lot of fans not trying to cause anything, but I seen watch Sky Sports News yesterday. A lot of fans were watching Gerrard. I think he could bring back the
Gerrard
feel of the place. You wouldn't go?
No, just yet.
No.
Why'd you know that?
No, because everything I say, they need to get they need to get 22 players out. You need to get the Longstaff players out as well, and then you need to get another 22.
You need to get wee Matty out for Aberdeen, you know.
Somebody's coming in. It's a time factor. And Stevie Gerrard will not take it. I mean, took him time up here.
He might though.
He's 11 tournaments and he won one.
We're talking about money again.
It took time for him to get the Rangers team winning.
Yeah,
and they're not going to have time. And who's going to go to a relegation fight? No good players going to go into a relegation fight and then go somewhere else.
Should just get Big Sam to keep them up to the end of the season
That's
and then get him out.
That's what they're doing. I'll give
Roy Evans.
5 million payoff.
Be Roy Evans.
Roy.
Right, Cooping time.
Right.
It's a tough one this week again.
Yes.
I've been.
Who wants to go first? Right, so wait, first, because there's 6 games here, right?
So that's what it says. Give me a penny.
Right. So, do you know who you're taking?
Aye.
What Frank he's taking
So
a pick?
I'm going to obviously go with
Right,
the game we started with Aberdeen and Hibs. I'm going to go for an away win Hibs. I think we spoke about the reasons for it, so I don't need to get into it again. So I
I'd
think
like you to just
Jack Ross.
Brilliant.
enough said. Who's your next game? Dundee United Motherwell?
Dundee United Motherwell side. I tipped Dundee United at the start of the season before we seen a ball get kicked. They would get relegated. I'd be what I'm doing.
made
Felt
an arse of
bad.
that.
Made a right arse of that. Motherwell disappointed with Celtic, I think. Even though Celtic were flying, but I think Motherwell could have maybe imposed themselves a lot on them. But I think Tam Courts is just much smarter than
Graham Alexander.
He'll outthink him, outsmart him, outward him, whatever you want to say.
Outdress him as well.
Out-
Tam Court's very smart. He's
Aye.
still wearing the All Saints gear.
It's got to get rid of that. So I'll go with an Arabs home win there, say.
Wow. And who you going to Celtic St Johnstone?
I'll go Celtic St Johnstone. I think the sexy bastard won't be sexy on the weekend. I think Celtic will do them. St Johnstone, I actually would like to do a sit down with me and you on that, just to talk about that. Is one of the worst things I've seen in Scottish football in years, what happened to St Johnstone in the summer.
At the end of the transfer window.
Fuck, a complete and utter
I think
disgrace.
St Johnstone might take this year being no great.
Well, they're going to do
They'll stick one and next year they'll be third.
I don't know how
I'm going to tip next year they'll finish third.
It was just the season on you say stuff like that.
But you tipped them to be third this
I know,
year,
if they'd kept their squad together, but they never
It's a
saw
great
I
point you
goes
got
into
at the end
Monday.
with that, wasn't it? That keep the
Nah,
squad
and I made a
together.
big point of saying that if they keep the squad together.
I think it's. I don't know how Cam Davis can walk into St Johnstone this season and be.
Especially with the Brogues at Evers, how he walks in with them.
I know, I don't get that.
And who's your fourth game, Paul?
Fourth game, Simon. I'm going to go with Hearts and Dundee. One for a boy Andy. I think Hearts.
He'll be like us sitting watching it.
He'll be watching us, keeping us up to date
Something
through
like
the game, won't he? Telling us how it's gone.
Crying.
Upset as usual. He's doing with Andy. He's been upset a hell of a lot last match, but he is fighting strong. And I fancy Hearts to do it, if I think so. So that's my four this week. I usually don't like picking St Rangers with the odds, but the other games, St Mirren Rangers, tight. And then Rangers playing obviously Thursday and Ross County Livy. I think Livy will do it. I think Livy will do them actually.
So you want to go 5?
And then I'll go Rangers as well, 6.
So you're going to full 6?
I'll go full 6
right,
on the weekend, but my first 4 was the for Grosvenor and the other 6 were for open goal.
Okay, mate. Right, Frank, what games are you going for?
My 4, same as 4 the same as him.
What, same results as well? Just finish it,
I'm
innit?
going Aberdeen, Hibernian draw.
Oh!
There you go. Oh,
Get them down for that.
Get them down for that.
Get them down for
Dundee
that.
United, Motherwell,
Wait.
draw.
Oh my God!
There you
Come
go.
on, Full House boys. Come
No,
on.
Celtic, St Johnstone, home win. And Hearts, Dundee, home win.
Draws. Drop
2
your
draws
draws.
and 2 home wins.
Drop your draws.
And I
Derek
also,
will be
think,
doing that
I
anyway,
also
won't he?
think Livingston will beat Ross County and St Mirren. So Rangers will beat St Mirren. Sorry, guys.
Derek Ferris is the only guy that's watched this doggy style, innit? He's watched it while bent over, man.
Aye. You thought I had done.
The hose, wasn't it? Point the hose up.
Cheers, boys.
Boys, brilliant.